Samuel chapter 30. Are we all there? I will read from verse 1. And it came to pass when David and his men were come to Ziklag on the third day, that the Amalekites had invaded the south and Ziklag, and smitten Ziklag and burned it with fire, and had taken the women captives that were therein. They slew not any, either great or small, but carried them away and went on their way. So David and his men came to the city, and behold, it was burned with fire, and their wives and their sons and their daughters were taken captives. Then David and the people that were with him lifted up their voice and wept, until they had no more power to weep. And David's two wives were taken captives, Ahinoam the Jezreelites, and Abigail the wife of Nabal the Carmelite. And David was greatly distressed, for the people spake of stoning him, because the soul of all the people was grieved, every man for his sons and for his daughters. But David encouraged himself in the Lord his God. And David said to Abiathar the priest, Ahimelech's son, I pray thee, bring me hither the ephod. And Abiathar brought thither the ephod to David. And David inquired at the Lord, saying, shall I pursue after this troop? Shall I overtake them? And he answered him, pursue, for thou shalt surely overtake them, and without fear recover all. Now go to verse 18. From verse 18. And David recovered all that the Amalekites had carried away. And David rescued his two wives, and there was nothing lacking to them, neither small nor great, neither sons nor daughters, neither spoil, for anything that they had taken to them, David recovered all. Judges chapter 20, read verse 22, then skip to verse 40 to 48. Read verse 22, then go to verse 40 to 48. Read.
And the people, the men of Israel, encouraged themselves and set their battle again in Ari, in the place where they put themselves in Ari the first day.
The first day. Go on from verse 40.
Verse 40
to 48.
But when the flame began to arise up out of the city with a pillar of smoke, the Benjamites looked behind them, and behold, the flame of the city ascended up to heaven.
Yes.
And when the men of Israel turned again, the men of Benjamin were amazed, for they saw that evil was come upon them. Therefore they turned their backs before the men of Israel unto the way of the wilderness.
Yes.
But the battle overtook them, and them which came out of the cities they destroyed in the midst of them. Thus they enclosed the Benjamites round about, and chased them, and trod them down with ease over against Gibeah toward the sunrising. Verse 44. And there fell of Benjamin 18,000 men. All these were men of valor, And they turned and fled toward the wilderness unto the rock of Ramon. And they gleaned of them in the highways 5,000 men, and pursued hard after them unto Gideon, and slew 2,000 men of them. So that all which fell that day of Benjamin were 25,000 men that drew the sword. All these were men of valor. But 600 men turned and fled to the wilderness unto the rock of Ramon, and abode in the rock Ramon 4 months. And the men of Israel turned again upon the children of Benjamin, and smote them with the edge of sword, as well the men of every city, as the beast, and all that came to hand. Also they set on fire all the cities that they came to.
Verse 20. Verse 20.
Okay. Verse 20. And the men of Israel went out to battle against Benjamin. And the men of Israel put themselves in array to fight against them at Gibeah. And the children of Benjamin came forth out of Gibeah and destroyed down to the ground of the Israelites that day
22,000 men. Ecclesiastes chapter 9, read verse 4.
For to him
that
is joined to all the living, there is hope. For a living dog is better than a dead lion.
Thank you. For to him that is joined to the living, there is hope. For a living dog is better than a dead lion. Tell your neighbor. A living dog is better than a dead lion. I want to speak to us by His grace a message titled Encourage Yourself in the Lord. Hallelujah. Life, before you will get to where you are going to, there are a lot of battles you must fight. Write it. In life, before you will get to where you are going to, there are a lot of battles you must fight. Number 2, in life, for you to achieve your goal, there are a lot of battles you must fight. Number 3, in life, for people to celebrate you and call you a winner, there are a lot of battles you must fight. Number 4, in life, for you to be who God has ordained you to be, there are a lot of battles you must fight. Life is all about battle. Whether you commit sin or you don't commit sin, the battle must come. Whether you are right or you are wrong, the battle must come. Whether you are a peacemaker or a troublemaker, the battle must come. Any area you put yourself, the battle must come. Whether you are careful or you are careless, the battle must come. Whether you are wise or you are foolish, the battle must come. No matter where you put yourself, the battle must come, must knock your door and open the door. Even Christ himself, when they came, the Bible said he was without sin, but the battles still fought him. There are so many blessings in life that they would have clapped for. Oh, winner. Congratulations, that would have succeeded in life. But on the journey of life, the battle of life became too much. They were discouraged. They did not get where they are going to. The reason why you see few rich people in this country, there are so many that God has ordained to be rich. It is discouragement that kept them where they are. And the ones that succeed, they go to where they are going to. Whether you are a prophet, whether you are a member, whosoever you are, there are battles facing you. There are battles you are facing. You can't even share it to the nearest person close to you. Because most of the battles are very shameful. Nobody will believe you. A lady came to me, when you see her, very fresh and bulky. He said, what is it? She came close. She whispered in my ear and said, I have HIV. I looked at her. But she was dressed, everything neatly. A battle. A man came here some time ago. He was putting on suit, well dressed. We sang, we danced, everybody danced. After closing, they book him on prayer night. When they opened the suit, the can of excreta and peace, you remember, was inside the suit. Battle. Battle has led so many of us to places we ought not to have gotten to. The Bible says, David and his men, they came home. They called their place Ziklag. When they got to their home, the place was burned with fire. They took their wives, their children, their property. They even burned the house down. The enemy finished everything. They said, let's make sure they don't have anywhere to put their head. They burned everything down. David got home, a almighty David, who killed Goliath. There are some challenges, it will take you from you. You will not even discover who you are again. It will take you from you. You will lose consciousness of yourself. You will not know the what you are again. Even to pray, you cannot pray again. David got home. Mighty David and King Goliath in chapter 17 for Samuel. When they got to chapter 30, he said they cried, oh, get me, David. A old David without oil on his head said they were crying. He sat down with his sword. He tied the horse from one place. And he sat the horse, the sword means his Bible. He put Bible down. He said, "Come to the Bible issue. Let me cry." David was crying. They saw that they were crying with David. They cried to a stage. No more strength to cry again. When David looked at the eyes of the soldiers, he said, if I don't do anything, they will stone me. Let me tell you, until you rise, God will not arise. Write it. Until you rise, God will not arise. David looked at them and said, no. I have killed Goliath. Who is it? Who He encouraged himself. Before you get to where you are now, before this challenge you are going through, hear me, let me tell you, there is a particular challenge you have gone through, God has saved you from, that is worse than this one now. Use that one to encourage yourself. David encouraged himself. He did not wait for pastor to come and preach to him. If you are discouraged, you have opened door of destruction to the enemy to finish you. Right? This discouragement is a weapon. It's a weapon the enemy uses to destroy people. It's a weapon that opens door to the enemy to invade people. You'll be so discouraged. Even the prophet that will pray for you, you'll be running from him. Discouragement. There will someone discourage you. You will not to hear the name of those God want to use to bless you. David encouraged himself. He said, no, God has used me to kill Goliath. And there are so many times Saul tried to kill me. God delivered me. What is this problem that God cannot do for me? He stood up. Tell me what, stand up. He stood up and he called Abiathar. If David had not stand up, God wouldn't have moved into action. He said, Abiathar, bring the effort to me. And he consult God. And God said, pursue them. You will recover all. Let me tell you, what you are going through is not yet over. The enemy don't have the final say. The final say is with you. Yes, sir. The final say is with you. David consulted God and God said, yes, pursue them. You will overtake and recover all. In verse 18 and 19, David pursued very hard. He fought. Read it very well. He fought the enemy. He killed them and he got them. He took everything the enemy took from him. No matter what the enemy stole from you, for how long, there is still a chance for you to recover. Don't be discouraged. Don't be discouraged. You can still carry a baby. People without womb, God has given their children here. Have you not heard the testimony? Don't be discouraged. Don't be discouraged. Satan will always tell you words in your ears because that is his work, to discourage you. They encouraged themselves and they went to the battle and they came back victorious. Ecclesiastes chapter 9 verse 4, the Bible says a living dog is better than what? A dead lion. When you go to Daniel chapter 9 and chapter 10, Daniel prayed and God answered him immediately. But he waited and waited and waited. The answer did not come. He went back for another 21 days. That prayer point you have stopped praying, go back to that prayer point. Don't be discouraged. If you are not making any part, the enemy will not fight hard. The enemies are fighting because they know that angle you are praying about, you are making headway. So they will discourage you. Say, so many persons, they are no longer coming to church. Discouragement. Satan goes to their home and minister to them one after the other. What are you going there for? You have been there for 1 year, 2 years. What happened to you? Maybe that month it discouraged you. Is a month God will send your angel to you. Your angel will now come to the church and wait for you. Sir, Mama Kura is going to let me wait for her. Begin to wait with your baby in your hand, in his hand. Discouragement. Discouragement. Right. What does it mean for one to encourage himself? Right. Let me talk to you. The word encouragement. To encourage them. Number one is this. Number one, it means standing on the Lord no matter the wind that is blowing. No matter the wind, you are seated. Let me tell you, the fact that you are not there yet does not mean God is not working with you. Number two, it means exhibiting the spirit of patience. Patience. Visiting churches is not bad, but hold on to your prophet God has given to you. There must be a prophet God will raise for you. Hold on to him. The worst thing the enemy can do to you is to make you to be discouraged about God. That's the worst thing. If you are discouraged about God and about yourself, it's finished. Number three, to be encouraged in the Lord means to hand over your challenges to God and allow God to work it out. Not seeking alternative from which doctor. They will not take you to river to bath in the night. Use power to round your head. Concussion and the rest. No. Hand it over. Don't you know God is watching you? He sees you. He knows you. Jesus said to the woman, it is not good to give the bread of the children to the dogs. The woman said, it's true. It's true. But the dogs eat from the crumbs that fall from the master table. Jesus said yes. She was encouraged. In churches, there are so many things that will discourage you. He can come from any angle, but know that you are not going to go because of human being, because you are going because of God. Listen to me. Discouragement has made so many who were almost dead not to get there. They became tired and they went back. It was just a stone throw to get to the place. But they were discouraged. They went back. Discouragement. If you are a prayerful Christian, if you are praying and things are happening to you in another angle, know that your prayer is making impact. Satan will touch no angle to take your attention. Because if you continue that prayer, hot prayer, you will kill somebody. Mark chapter 10 from verse 46 to 52. Read.
And they came to Jericho.
And Jesus came to Jericho.
And as he went out of Jericho with the disciples, and a great number of people,
Yes.
blind Bartimaeus, the son of Timaeus,
The son of Timaeus,
sat by the highway side begging.
begging. Yes.
And when he heard it was Jesus
When
of
he
Nazareth,
heard that it was Jesus of Nazareth,
he began to cry out
he started shouting.
and say,
Yes.
Jesus,
Jesus,
thou son of David,
thou son of David,
have mercy on me.
have mercy upon me.
And many charged him that he should hold his peace. But he cried the more a
Listen,
great
listen.
deal.
So many charging that he should hold his peace. He said, keep quiet. Look at this blind man. Do you think he has time for you? He has not seen people with two eyes. Right? A blind man. Let me tell you, no matter what you are going through, don't allow people critics to discourage you from following God. Don't allow people words. Look at her. She's praying. He's falling from a glory. Look, let's watch how it will go. How many years now? 2 years. Satan spoke through Peter. And Jesus said to Peter, get thee behind me, O ye Satan. Satan can speak to anybody. Look at her. Look at her. Hey, go to church. Fire, fire. This. I don't mind them. The same people, Satan is the one using them to tell you those words. They are planting seed of what? Discouragement in your heart. Once you don't see that growing in your heart, no need to go to church. No need. The enemy has succeeded. They were telling blind Bartimaeus, keep quiet. Read that place again.
Verse 48.
24.
And 48. And many charged him that he should hold his peace.
He should hold his peace.
But he cried the more a great deal.
He was not discouraged.
Thou son of David,
Cried the more, thou son of David,
have mercy on me.
have mercy upon me.
And Jesus stood still.
Listen to me. He did not only call once, and Jesus stood still. He kept on calling until Jesus answered him. Read on.
And Jesus stood still
Jesus stood still.
and commanded him to be called. And they called the blind man, saying unto him,
Arise.
be of good comfort. Rise, he called thee.
Those who were discouraging him, telling him words of discouragement, when he eventually caught the attention of Jesus Christ, they were the ones saying, arise, go and meet him, he's calling you. There are people now, they are mocking you. Let God answer you first. They are the ones who say, brother, please, give me money, do this. Don't mind them. Don't mind them. Everybody, don't mind them. Go on.
Verse 50. And he, casting away his garments, rose and came to Jesus.
Rose up and came to Jesus.
And Jesus answered and said unto him,
And Jesus answered and said unto him,
what wilt thou that I should do unto thee? The blind man said unto him,
The blind man said to Jesus,
Lord, that I might receive my sight.
Lord, that I might what? Receive my eyes.
And Jesus said unto him,
And Jesus said unto him,
go thy way.
Go thy way.
Thy faith hath made thee whole.
That
And immediately he received his sight and followed Jesus in the way.
Take that place again.
Verse 52. And Jesus said unto him, go thy way.
Go thy way.
Thy faith hath made thee whole.
And immediately
He received his sight and followed Jesus in the way.
Matthew 19, verse 25, 26.
When his disciples heard it,
Uh-huh.
they were exceedingly amazed,
They were exceedingly amazed,
saying,
who
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 saved?
then can be saved?
But Jesus beheld them
But Jesus beheld them.
and said unto them,
Jesus said unto them,
With men this is impossible,
with men this thing is impossible,
but with God all things are possible.
but with God, what is our word? Possible. It's okay. Remember the case of Lazarus who died. Jesus was not discouraged. He brought him from the dead. What are you going through? A songwriter sang a song. He said, don't give up on God, because God will not give up on you. What is that your challenge? That you thought God cannot come in again. You are totally discouraged. You want to now yield to some, you want to submit to what men are telling you to do. You now want to submit to what people are telling you to do. Remember that when they got to the Red Sea, there was no way. But Jesus made a way. With God, all things are possible. You are so discouraged. You don't even want to come to church or prayer meeting again. And you thought God has forgotten you. Remember the woman with the issue of blood? For 12 years. She heard about Jesus and she kept on pressing on. They were pushing her, but she was pushing forward. She was not discouraged. Eventually she got to where Jesus where and she touched the garment. Just because you have not touched the garment does not mean Jesus is far from you. It's not far from you. It's very close. Don't be discouraged because of what you are going through. Jesus is still with you. He can still turn it around. He can still make it good. He can still pull forward and take away again. He can still put baby in your womb. He can raise it back. Don't be discouraged. The darker the night, the closer the day.